for chapter 9 of my book, Flowerantha. Variety is the spice of life, right? So we're in a new location again. This is in front of our cozy fireplace, and we have our dog Della and my daughter BB with us again today. And Cece's helping us film. All right, let's read chapter 9. A large rip in the side of Mash's parents' sleeping pouch let light from the rising sun stream in. His mother sat beside him. Mash sat up and grabbed his head in pain. "Where's Beverly?" She reached for his shoulders to encourage him to lie back down. "The visitor is asleep in your pouch." "You know?" Mash held his breath and searched his mother's stony expression. "Your father told me after the attack. I want her out of our home." Mash sat up again. "I never meant to bring her here. I'm sorry. All I have to do is get her to the castle." She held up her hand. "All you have to do? You have never been to the castle, Mash. Is that where you were all this time? On your way to the castle? Your father is going to bring the girl to Olivia. She will deal with it." "Olivia is the one who said I could go. She was going with us, but she must have gotten caught up in something else." "It is not the journey I am concerned about, Mash. I am not giving my blessing for my son to go searching for a portal to the Amaranth, because I know what will happen. You will follow that girl right through." Mash picked at a loose thread in the blanket. "Am I right?" she pressed. "I'm meant to be there, Mother. I know I am. You can make that decision when you are older, when I am not able to stop you. Then you can decide if you want to disappear and break your mother's heart." Mash's own chest tightened at her words. "What if I promise to come back?" he whispered. His mother took his hand in hers. Her rough thumb moved back and forth between his hands. "You lied to me about the visitor. I want to trust you, but I do not know if I can." "Mother, I have to do this. Beverly's counting on me. When I get her home safe, I'll come back." She shook her head, so he raised his voice a little. "It'll only take a few days if we can get to the castle fast enough. Then I'll stay here with you and Dad until I'm old enough." Her lip quivered, and a tear dropped down her cheek. "Please don't cry. Just come back, son. Please." "I will, I promise." She pulled him to her, squishing him into a tight hug that she didn't seem to intent on releasing. Mash patted her back. Mash's mother and Beverly didn't speak for the remainder of Beverly's time there. His mother begged him to stay until his father returned home from spreading the news of the Monster Night attack in town, but Mash was in a hurry to begin their journey again. As his mother packed him a sack of food, he heard something splashing in the stream. An aquasis stood with its duck feet in the water and bit a hunk of grass from the shoreline. It raised its head as Mash scurried down the tree.
"Stay down."
Beverly followed him down the tree and rooted herself right next to it. She shook her head, making her golden hair swish. "No way." "Come on, it's safe. That's what Bushrell said last time. There's no way I'm getting on one of those things again." "Come on, Beverly. It could take us days to get to the castle by foot." Beverly leaned against the tree. "Hey, were there flowers on that hill last night?" After the attack the night before, it had been a pile of packed dirt, but now dark purple blooms blanketed the mound where Mash's father had buried the man. They were so dark they were almost black. "Donch coily," Mash shuddered. "What does that mean?" "It's the Monster Knight's color." His mother appeared next to Beverly at the base of the tree, and Beverly shuffled out of her way. "I did not figure it out until that first night you disappeared. Every time a Monster Night flies by, more of the flowers turn Donch coily and shrivel up." She angled her back toward Beverly to face Mash. "Are you leaving now?" "Yes, I think we must." Mash's mother squeezed him into one last embrace and then ruffled his hair with a bit of a tug before she released it. "Remember your promise." "Yes, Mother." With her head down, Beverly thanked his mother and stood next to the aquasis. The aquasis flapped its wings, which made Beverly jump. Mash passed Beverly with a smirk in her direction and pet the aquasis. It knelt down to let him climb on its back. Mash swung his legs over behind the wings before the aquasis stood back up. He held his hand out to Beverly, who continued to act aloof. Come here, feel the wings. They're oily like a duck's. He reached for her wrist and pulled her over, placing her hand against the white feathers of the outstretched wing. The Aquasis ruffled its wing, and Beverly yanked her hand back. Trying again, she pet its feathers with 2 fingers, then stepped closer and stroked the feathers with her palm. It almost feels like our chickens at home, she said.
Stay. Good girl.
The Aquasis blew out air through its nose and stomped its foot, which had become a hoof on dry ground. Beverly jumped back. She, said Mash. What? It's a she, and you're going to have to try harder to be nice if she's going to allow you to ride her. Petting the Aquasis nuzzle this time, she said, Sorry about that. You are much prettier than a chicken. May I ride you? The Aquasis bobbed its head, its shiny white hair flowing behind it. She bent her right front leg so that Beverly could hoist herself over her back. Mash patted the smooth white hair behind him, signaling for Beverly to get on. Beverly swung her leg over the Aquasis back, just like Mash had. See, not so scary, he said. We're not in the air yet. We will be soon. Are you ready? Beverly placed her hands on either side of his waist. No. The Aquasis took a few steps as a running start and lifted off. The sudden movement made Beverly wrap her arms around Mash's waist and bury her head in his back. Mash inhaled the lilac-scented air as it brushed over his face. What's going on? I can't see anything. Is it raining? We're just flying through a cloud. Mash reached his hand up to feel the wet, cool fog on his fingertips. They left the cloud behind, and the sun dried his damp skin. Beverly. What? Do you have your eyes closed? Yes. Open them up. I promise we won't fall this time. You have to see this. The sight had changed since last time they rode an Aquasis. Along either side of the glistening river was a sprawling field of flowers. Instead of the purple splotches like there had been in Mash's yard, there was a wavy line of purple following the direction of the river. Do you think that's from the monster night that we saw last time, or a different one? Asked Beverly. I don't know, but let's hope this isn't a regular route of theirs. Yeah, I hope not. At least we know we're going the right way. Do you see the castle in the distance? Mash sat up straight and pointed to the horizon. A purple stone castle sat at the base of a purple mountain range. The tops of the mountains were concealed in fog, so Mash couldn't tell for sure how big they really were. 4 towers of varying heights reached toward the sky. Even though it was early afternoon, dark clouds hung over the castle. It looked like they were flying right into night, as if it were a place and not a time of day. The river flowed into a lake, which ended a half-mile from the castle. I guess all of Flowerantha isn't connected by water, said Mash. The Aquasis descended, and Beverly squeezed Mash's waist to brace for impact. Her hooves hit the ground one by one, and she galloped to a stop. Mash dismounted and held his hands out to catch Beverly by the waist as she hopped down. Beverly patted the Aquasis's neck. Thanks for not throwing me off like the last one did. The black eyes twinkled at her through fans of white eyelashes. The Aquasis nodded and flew off back over the lake. The castle loomed in front of them. It was so massive that it blocked out the sun, casting a shadow where Beverly and Mash walked. It was built on a rocky hill at the base of the mountain, and the castle's size rivaled the mountain next to it. Instead of a moat, it was surrounded by a desert to prevent individuals who traveled by water to get anywhere near the castle. Dry grass, glowing sand, and spiky shrubs and trees replaced what used to be a lake. Mash held out his hand and squeezed Beverly's. Are you ready for this? All right, that's the end of chapter 9.
Bye.
See you next time for chapter 10.